Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to talk about Hystrix library. So what is Hystrix library? Hystrix library is a library developed by Netflix in order to handle the latency and fault that occurs when multiple dependencies are called in the system. So let us try and understand this from an example. So if you have a user request and there are many number of dependencies running as services in the system, and they might have dependencies on each other also. Now suppose there is an application which depends on say 30 services, and each service has an uptime of 99.99%. So basically each service is running at its best performance. So if you have 99.99% of uptime and there are 30 services, in total you have 99.7% of uptime. And now suppose there are 1 billion requests. So, and very small fraction of those requests get 0.3% of not uptime. What I mean by that is there might be delay in the response from those dependency services. There might be some fault that occurred, but they doesn't mean they fail completely. There might be delay in response that we get from those services. So if we think of it at a very large scale, we get like 2+ hours of downtime per every month, which is very big, and it involves huge cost in terms of bad user experience or not good service. And in order to handle that, Netflix had developed its library, the Hystrix library. And let us try to understand what it does. So it basically controls interaction between distributed services, and it adds latency tolerance and adds fault tolerance logic. So the way it does is, suppose there are many services and all of them are working fine. One of the dependencies fail for a user request, and there are many millions or billions of requests that are coming. So all the requests at the same time for that service might result in delay or failure. Now the way Hystrix handles this situation is it isolates a point of access between the services. It stops the cascading failure. So suppose there is one service and then this service depends on another service and the internal service failed, and then the failure gets cascaded over, and this library stops that. It provides the fallback option, takes care of error exception handling. And this fails fast and rapidly recovers in case such situation arrives. And it also adds real-time monitoring and alerting. I don't want to dig deep into how it works, because this information is enough for a system design interview. Thank you. I hope it is useful.